All right, so... Oh, is it posted already? No changes in all formats. Sounds right. That was what we expected. No changes in all formats. Mass manip versus Niv. I really like mass manipulation. In fact, I thought about adding a second, so I don't really like that change. Maybe Dream Eater could be Niv, because that's a card that's going to come in against control too. So I could see that. Anywho, so this build of Gates is something that I'd kind of been kicking around, and then a viewer sent in the core that we wanted to try. I like the idea of a couple Nivs over the Dream Eaters. Basically, we played a lot of Gates, and the real issue or struggle for the Gates archetype has definitely felt like we just don't have enough meaningful interaction to keep up since Mono Blue and Mono White came around. We have a lot of big payoffs in the 4-color builds, especially like the Angel to gain a bunch of life. However, they just get under you and counter all your expensive spells. So this build has more red sources in it and is able to not only play Gates Ablaze as a sweeper, but we got 4 Shivan Fire in the main, we've got 4 Lava Coils in the sideboard, so we have a lot of cheaper interaction to supplement our big payoffs, so that way we're able to interact with these lower to the ground decks more consistently. Our mana also gets a little bit better because we've cut white out of it. That being said, we do go down on the total number of gates, which is something to consider. So this build has all 12 Temur gates in it, plus 2 Gateway Plaza, which that might even be a little bit light. It's possible that we might want a couple of off-color gates just to keep the gate count high, but I think I want to start here and see how things feel. So let me export this, and I think I'm gonna take this one into ranked. I think stocked gates is pretty close to being reasonable, and with more interaction, we might be okay. How do you interact with planeswalkers? You attack them. We have goats and Colossus. It's also possible that with only 14 gates in our deck, that 4 Gate Colossus is too many, so I could see that being reasonable to swap out too. Maybe we turn 2 Gate Colossus into 2 Mass Manipulation, then we get like Harpooners or something like that in the sideboard. Basic Mountain. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be this game. My start is kind of slow, and this build does not have Archway Angel to lock things up in a matchup like this, which is a big deal. That being said, there's Shivan Fire coming out here to hopefully help us lock things up. Double Colossus on the play here is probably going to be pretty good for us. Oh, you know what? I probably should have Shivan Fired this last turn before they got to untap in case they had Wizard's Lightnings. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and play Root, which this gets me up to not only does it get me to 6 lands, but it puts 5 gates into play, so I just get to put 16 power into play next turn. Which, depending on how much they do to me here, we might be okay. We can just race them really quick, like. So I'm going to 15, I'm going to 12. Frilled Mystic has been slamming in my sideboard on my Gates deck. I could see that. I could see Frilled Mystic being really good. I think I'm just going to let them draw cards here. I think having them dead in 2 means I just let them draw cards. Here's a good chance we're dead here even with this start. Not having an angel to draw to is a pretty big deal here. I think without having white cards, this matchup probably becomes a lot worse for the sake of making the mono blue matchup better. Yeah, I don't think I really have many lines here. Yeah, like they just have so many hasty threats. And to be fair, I think even with white cards, this matchup's pretty bad. I guess I could have drawn trying to hit a Gates Ablaze there, but even that seems pretty lackluster for us. Cut these guild summits. Hey, Full Metal, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. Thank you for the 21 months in a row. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I don't know if Fiery Cannonade is very good in general in the sideboard. There's enough incidental pirates in the format, and only dealing 2 damage is kind of a buzzkill on a sweeper. I don't think I want to cut any of these just because it's pretty important to be able to have threats to close the game out. Maybe I just cut some of these roots because they're really kind of slow as far as ramp is concerned. Yeah, Blink's a little mediocre to bringing in some other cheap interactions. Maybe cut one of those. Let's try this. I think this matchup's probably bad no matter how we slice it, which maybe means that this deck's just not good enough to play on the ladder. We'll see. There's a lot of variety on the ladder. It's very easy to, like, have a deck with a hard matchup and then, like, pigeonhole on, like, being super anecdotal, right? Gosh, this hand is just, like if any of these cards are just, like, a blue gate, this hand's absurd. I think I have to mulligan this, though. Yep. Welcome to the magic. Welcome to magic. London mulligan when, please? Which is the one I've been having the most fun with? Definitely the Temur Domri deck. Temur Domri or Black-White Aristocrats, I think, are both excellent choices. I'm dreaming of the London mulligan. Do 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 ba do boop boop do 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 do. Now that we've concluded this is worse against mono red than normal, I'm sure we're just gonna like play mono red 3 times in a row and feel bad about ourselves. That's just like how bad beats go. They already posted. It's no changes. Well, turn 3 Gatebreaker Ram plus Plaza of Harmony is like probably our best start here, so that's nice. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes a parent. Thank you for the 9 months, Nerva. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Wow, they have double shock for our goat. That's so incredibly unfortunate. Dopies, thanks for the prime. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Woof. I think I just 1-for-1 this Gates Ablaze here. Just want to keep my health total high so this Gate Colossus can have time to go to work. Coil in the main deck's pretty rare for the mono red style decks. And two mountains in a row kind of implied that it was. Oh, they're not mono red actually. Interesting. Okay. They're actually Gruul aggro. This is my 8/8. Enjoy. I agree, Trex. I agree. What they posted today seemed much better than normal. Lava Coil sounds wonderful. Trim the blinks. Moan. Thank you for the 12 months in a row. I really appreciate the support. I Nate the Defender of the Realm. Thanks for keeping me employed for 12 months. Welcome back. What do I want to trim here? I think it's like 1 root, 1 Gate Colossus. Seems reasonable. There's a command for when subs come in and ask. His hand doesn't have any gates in it, but it's got, like, reasonable castable spells, so we're gonna keep it. This is like 2 pseudo gates, right? Yay, shock. Lands, please. Fantastic. If we draw a land with this growth spiral and put it into play, and then get to play root, we should be on a very reasonable track. Yeah, I agree. Having a big thing is really, really important. Big thing early. I could be greedy and, like, try and get them to adapt their thing, but I think I'd rather just be conservative and just, like, in case they play it smart. But I guess, even if they play it smart and get it, like, if they just, like, attack for 2 and pass, and then, like, get blown out, kind of. So I'd rather just guaranteed take their thing off the table, because, like, as the game goes long, we're more favored. That's really unfortunate. Alright, I think I just killed this to keep my health total high. I have to take a hit this turn, and then next turn I do this, and the following turn I can start slamming bombs. Morning, Devils. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a good one.
The wild wasn't meant to be contained.
Morning, Red Bull. I technically made a small mistake here. So what I should have done was, I should have played the forest before I played the root. And the reason for that is, I have 2 copies of the Gateway Plaza in my deck. So I could have fetched a Gateway Plaza with the root using this mana. So instead, I've kind of used this mana, or not used this mana and lost a little bit of efficiency, when I could have spent all my mana this turn and pulled a less efficient one out of my deck. Alright, so that puts me to 11. Another land here is not a terrible draw. So that makes these 5s. If I cast this root and get 2 gates, I can put a Gate Colossus into play, which is nice. Because this now costs 3. I'll go ahead and pass back. So we've got 5 gates in play at the moment, and we've got 10 total mana.
Balance comes.
This is up to 8, which is a little bit annoying. Maybe I'm supposed to play Hydroid Krasis there rather than the ramp plus the Gate Colossus, just so I can pressure the Vivian better. Can I win through Vivian ulting in this matchup? If my creatures are big, I might be able to. Probably not now on the back of Dragon, so like they get to play, if they play Dragon and smash me, They probably don't want to play Dragon and Smash because they want 2 defenders for Vivian, so that way I can't, Wow, this attack's super aggressive. They have, like, double Collision Colossus here. They have, like, Lava Coil plus Chain Whirler. They have Lava Coil plus Chain Whirler. That makes sense. Ooh, wow. It's really worth noting how much worse the Shivan Fire is than a shock here, right? Like, if the Shivan Fire was a shock, I'd be able to keep the Vivian from ulting. So this Hydroid Krasis can be played for 8, which puts me to 10, but then I'm just dead on board, right? Like, they ult the Vivian, I block 6, I take 6-11, so I don't think I have any outs here. I guess I can Hydroid Krasis for 5, and then play a Gate Colossus as well, but then I'm chump blocking with this. I don't think I have any mass manipulations in my deck at the moment. I guess I could have played this for 1 more and hoped to have hit a gate to play this, and then I draw an extra card and gain an extra life. That might be meaningful. Yeah, mass manip should probably be in my deck. I have 1 in the sideboard. Yep, we're pretty good. I think we're dead no matter how we slice that there. While having the ability to take the Vivian off the table. Alright, so this seems pretty good. Am I supposed to trim Root? I feel like I'm supposed to trim Root. It's just a little bit slow. Oh, like, this is worse without Root in my deck. Seems fine. We get to go Guildgate into Gateway Plaza into Harmony, play Gatebreaker Ram. Although maybe I want to wait to play Gatebreaker Ram until it's a 5-5. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to wait to play Gatebreaker Ram until it's a 5-5 because my opponent did show us they have Lava Coil in their deck post board. So I have the 3rd gate lined up here already, so I want to just go ahead and wait to make sure that happens. I have Gates Ablaze lined up here, so I think I'm just going to let this Growth Chamber Guardian happen. I could go, like, Harmony Gates Ablaze here, but I think I'd like to get more value out of this. They want to spend mana adapting this. That seems fine for me. This honestly kind of feels like a win for us. Yeah, especially with, like, double Ram coming down. It's possible that it's more correct to Krasis for 2 here to draw 1 card to try and hit a gate tap so I can go double Ram the following turn. Do I want to attack here with the Gatebreaker Ram? Probably not. I think I'm just going to play another and pass. Next turn I can Krasis for 4. Hopefully find some more gates. No, none so far punch-worthy. Which is a good thing. Yeah, it has Vigilance, but I don't want them to double block here because they'll get a thing back from the Phoenix. So ideally, I want to set up a turn where I, like, use the Gates Ablaze to clear and then kill them. Wow, that attack is aggressive. That attack is super aggressive. So now I get to go Gates Ablaze, sweep your stuff, hit you for 14, play another 7/7. We just have, like, our aggro draw this game, which is sweet. So we have, like, 3 7/7 tramplers, and they're at 4. So good luck, Godspeed. Yes, Dauber. The rules text for Indestructible reads that if this creature would die from having lethal damage marked on it, it instead doesn't die. So. Good morning, Myth. Hope you're having a good one. That was. It is a wacky world sometimes. Shivan Fire looking excellent here for letting us be a little bit more interactive. Get to put another gate into play. Yep. If they're a Spell Pierce deck, I'm going to be a little bit sad here, but I think it's right to just jam this. I agree, random guy. My biggest worry with sub only chat was that we wouldn't have enough people in here chatting to ask meaningful questions, but we're having the chat is flowing at what I feel is a good rate. I'm getting to answer the questions of the people who are most important. The ones that keep me here. So I feel like they're holding up a counterspell here. So the question I have to ask myself is, which of my cards do I want to play into the counterspell? I think it's Gate Colossus. I feel like they're obligated to counter whatever I play here, and I'd much rather this get countered than Guild Summit get countered, right? And, like, if Gate Colossus resolves, that's still, like, fine for me. Why is Experimental Frenzy considered good? Doesn't it limit what you can play? So Experimental Frenzy does limit what you can potentially play. However, it's also a card... It's also a card that has potential really high upside. So Experimental Frenzy is a card that we would describe as high variance in Magic, because it's a card that sometimes, like, locks you out of playing meaningful cards, but in other situations, it literally allows you to play 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in a single turn, which is really powerful. So I didn't Guild Summit there, because I wouldn't be able to draw cards off it if I wanted to take the Hostage Taker out. So I wanted to be able to do this when I played the Guild Summit and use it to gas up, basically. So I don't want to play a threat out next turn. I guess if I don't play a threat out, they're able to get Thief of Sanity back. I think I just play the goat. I think I play the goat because if they want to bring back Hostage Taker over Thief to take my goat, I'm okay with that. With this Hydroid Krasis, we should be able to power through whatever they're doing. Now for the sword, Red Mulligan. I knight the Defender of the Realm. Thank you for your 12 months of support and welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh no, don't make me discard a card. How will I ever keep up with your immense amounts of card advantage? So, do you have a removal spell for my Gatebreaker Ram, or is your Karn gonna get gate broken? Lookout's Dispersal is interesting. Playing a neat mix of cards over there. I think I just do this for X's 8. I could root, which lets me draw 2 cards to maybe hit removal for this, but I think I'd rather just do this for 8. Yikes. So if they don't have removal for the Krasis, I get to Krasis to take care of Karn. It also keeps their Thief of Sanity at bay this turn. Night Veil Predator is a heck of a card. How many gates do I have in play at the moment? I have 5, 6. I have 7 gates at the moment. And 7's an important number because it means that I can cast Gates Ablaze and not lose my Hydroid Krasis here. I'm following and watching your streams for quite some time, and I feel like it has made me a better player. I took second in my regional on Saturday. Every time I cast something, I felt myself making coherent reasoning as to why it gave me the best chance to win the game. Well, congrats on your second place, Donovan. That's really awesome. All right, so yeah, I have 5, 6. Oh, I already do have. I have 8. You're right. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. I did miss that. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Well, what am I doing here? I think we're starting by attacking Karn. Am I? No, I'm gonna start by. Nah, I need to attack Karn because they have a cast down. Yeah, I missed the Plaza. Alright, so what do I want to do here? I think I need to root to start. I'm going to do this to start. Because remember, drawing with this is not optional, so putting the second Guild Summon into play can kind of be a liability. I'm going to kill that so it can't threaten to deck me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pass. So I assume this is getting the cast down that's exiled. I have to hope they don't have another removal spell here so I can take the Karn off the table. Sure. Maybe I was supposed to Growth Spiral on my turn. So that way I could try and hit another Gate Colossus this turn. There's 2 counter spells over here. Oh, how many cards do I want to draw here? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. let's do 6. Yeah, I guess you're right. If I play my land post-combat, I get to get the Gate Colossus back, which is fair. We're just letting Karn die. That's interesting.
There is always another fight.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely should have sequenced my lands differently to like get combat going first there before I started making other decisions, I think. I'm doing all right this morning, Brian. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a good one. Yep, dig, dig, dig. We're hoping to dodge Ritual Izzet here. It's unfortunate they get to take my blink. Just dead. Okay, I'll take it. I think matchups like this tend to be good for us. I think I want to trim Shivan Fire. Thief of Sanity's like a little bit awkward. It's like, how much removal do I want to leave in for Thief versus how much do I want to just try and play through it? Because we can just play through it to a degree. Like, is Negate actually good here? It might not be, honestly. Mass Manip doesn't seem that good either, because like, while they have Thief of Sanity, they have Hostage Shaker and stuff like that too. Maybe I want to leave 2 fires in. See, I don't think I really care about their disinformation campaigns. Like, that game was a good example of, like, we just generate so many cards in the average game that we can just kind of play through that style of effect, I think. I'm gonna try this. This is still like 4 ways to kill Thief of Sanity cheaply, and Gates Ablaze does it as well. So, Volper, the reason why the modern videos on YouTube get a lot of views is because there aren't a lot of them. So, if you look at the total number of views that the standard videos get versus how much the modern videos are getting, the standard videos are still averaging more views than modern day to day. The watch time on standard videos is also higher. And the sad truth of their TLDR is that, like, making content for YouTube is much less revenue than making content for Twitch. Just like the amount of money it makes for the amount of effort it requires is just not worthwhile. I still don't think I understand how Guild Summit wins games. It's just, yeah, it wins games because it draws you more win conditions. Hey, Stealth Hobo, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, my Stream Decker page doesn't just get updated when I'm streaming decks. So, like, when I update deck lists on my website or I'm putting build-arounds together, I upload them there so I have a place to keep track of them, basically. So, not every deck that's on my Stream Decker page is a deck that we've necessarily played. And thanks for the 3 months, Stealth Hobo. Welcome back. I think I want to just not play into a counterspell here. Feels like a counterspell turn. Yeah, that's a great comparison, B-Rich. Guild Summit wins games a lot like in the same ways that Azcanta does for Control. Agree with that assessment. Alright, now I guess I just start throwing my goats into harm's way. Do you know why some content creators choose to stream on YouTube as opposed to streaming on Twitch? I mean, yeah, if you're big, Twitch is a lot. I don't want to say it's more work. It's a different skill set. So like making post-edited videos is a different skill set than being able to play Magic well while interacting with the chat and reading questions. Or not even necessarily well, but just like less bad is a good way to put it too. I think you also have to remember that like there's a lot of people who make Magic content a lot of people just make content for fun, right? Like I'm one of the few people who's like lucky enough to be able to call this my job every day. Like this literally pays my bills. But there was a long time where like it didn't pay my bills and I was just doing it for fun. And at that point I enjoyed doing Twitch more than I enjoyed doing YouTube. So I think there's a lot of people that just like enjoy doing YouTube more than they enjoy the Twitch aspect. Do I want to Hydroid Krasis for 3 here? I kind of feel like I just want to put more threats into play. It always feels bad we don't get to draw at least 2 cards with this card, but I think like just putting more power into play at the moment is good. Especially considering they took a Gatebreaker Ram from me. That kind of like signifies that they're light on ways to interact with creatures at the moment since they took a Ram away. Gates Ablaze doesn't actually do anything because I only have 2 gates in play at the moment. These are Shocklands, and Plaza of Harmony is not a gate. So now I'd really like to draw a gate so we can Gates Ablaze and kill their board. Yeah, not drawing a gate here, honestly, might be the end of the game. Like, I guess I get to Banefire and, like, kill their things so they don't get to play my Krasis, but, like, we're going from, like, being in a good spot drawing a gate here to, like, being in a kind of mediocre spot from not drawing a gate. Wow, do they have Spell Pierce and Dive Down in their deck? That's brutal. Yeah, we're kind of dead here at this. I guess I could draw a gate and like maybe these Gate Colossus power through, but we're definitely in a pretty terrible spot at the moment. Can't make an attack now because they have a 2/6. Maybe I'm supposed to attack first there. Probably supposed to attack first there because of Dive Down. Just wasn't really a card that's on my radar. Not really sure what my opponent's doing. They're playing a bit of a brew. Wow. I think that's good for me. I don't know. I guess they could have a counterspell for this Gates Ablaze, but like, if we get to stick the Gates Ablaze before they Krasis, that's really good for us. A fantastic draw. Cranks the goat up to a 5/5. You have a sub next to your name, Banuk. Subs don't get ads on my channel. I don't think there was a PT list that was playing Laviz or whatever this card's called. The Red Gnome, thank you for the 2-month resub. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. So, like, this is a good example of a game where, like, we kind of just don't care about their card advantage. We're just going to, like, beat them down. So, like, even if they have a counterspell for the first Gates Ablaze, I can play a second, clear their board, and, like, hit them for 5. Hey, Frosted. Thanks for the Prime support. Thanks for chipping your Beza bucks this way this month. I appreciate it. My poor 0/0s. They are not long for this world. They have 2 of our cards over here. A lot of our cards aren't very good for them because, like, our good payoffs are kind of expensive. So, like, another Krasis here is one of their better cards they could have hit. Attempt. And this is something I'm going to say a couple times this week as I do it, but people who are watching that want to comment but don't have the funds to subscribe, I am going to be leaving YouTube comments open moving forward, so that is a way you can interact with me after the fact. Well, the deck list is on the screen, Red Gnome, so, like, they still have the ability to get to the deck list. Like, the deck list is on the screen via the Stream Decker widget. They can also click the decks button in the information section below the stream. There's still a lot of good ways for them to get the information that they would like. Wow, they took our Niv. That's brutal. And they have the cast down. All right, our Niv is probably GG. There is a non-sub chat, actually. Do commands work in the non? I'm not sure if the commands work in the non-sub room. I'm one gate short of killing this 1-for-1, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next game here. Do the chat commands work in the everyone room? I'm not looking at the everyone room, but it does exist. Nope, doesn't seem to work. Just gonna go ahead and run things back here. Yeah, that's what gave me 4, I believe. Unless I was miscounting again. Maybe I missed it again. I thought I counted 4 with that. Yeah, most of the internet becomes super toxic. Well, hello there. I'm taking 0 responsibility for the non-chat room. The reason why we are in sub-only mode is because that type of toxicity is just like, it's making me not happy as a person, so I'm removing it from my life. Clever girl, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I don't think I actually want these Gate Colossus. I guess if I put... Actually, yeah, I'm going to put one of these on top of my deck. Or there is only one, right? Because next turn, I drop this gate, and I have 6 lands. I just go, like, 24 power, right? And they're blue-black, so their only sweeper is... They're blue-black, so their only sweeper is... What's it called? I think I actually ditched the Niv here and just put 24 power out. What's going on, Fribbles? Yeah, mods can still moderate it if they'd like. I'm not gonna be paying attention there though. 388's pass. Just Tron things. Just Tron things. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody over out in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you're someone who enjoys standard best of 3 constructed with sideboards, this is definitely the channel for you. That's basically all we play here. This deck, like most of the decks we play on the stream, is a viewer-submitted deck list. So as always, a big shout out to my wonderful subs and folks who submit deck lists. They are quite literally the folks that keep me employed, so thanks to all of them. I'd also like to give a plug to a couple of my sponsors here really quick. Quip provides wonderful, affordable, quality electric toothbrushes. If you check them out using link bit.ly/HugoQuip, you can save. You can get your first refill kit with them for free. That includes an extra brush head, battery, and toothpaste. Also, if you check them out using my link, you can bump a deck in my deck queue by 25 points for free. So thank you for checking out the sponsor. BCW Supplies would love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards. They do sleeves, deck boxes, binders, and all sorts of other fantastic stuff. And using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% on all of your purchases there with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directed to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and back to them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they have on their website. Head on into our next match here. You did have to sub to Talkscry, man. We're test driving sub-only chat this week. Well, welcome back to a live one, Aces. I'm glad you're enjoying the YouTube stuff. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, it's a mix of things being toxic and hostile, Mr. Dynamite, and the chat just getting too busy to, like, for me to catch things. Like, I feel like a big part of what I do well here on Twitch is being able to interact with the chat, and if the chat's moving too quickly and I can't answer questions, especially from subs, the people who are subbing to support my content aren't really getting their full value out of it. So, by slowing the chat down to sub only, it'll allow me to address questions from people in chat more consistently. From the people who pay me, especially, which is important. Yeah, I have a Quip toothbrush, and in fact, they sent me one of their brushes and let me use it for a month before I decided whether or not it was something that that I wanted to advertise. Rhythm of the Wild and the board versus control decks. Nah, I think rather... So, here's the problem with Rhythm of the Wild in general. So, Rhythm of the Wild is a card... Rhythm of the Wild is a card that requires you to have more cards in order for it to be a threat. So rather than play a card like Rhythm of the Wild that needs a secondary card to make it good, I would much rather just play individually powerful cards that require answers on their own. So like Niv-Mizzet, for example, is an anti-control card that we're playing that's individually powerful all on its own. We haven't played a ton of Esper Hero recently, but I believe it's actually towards the top of the deck queue at the moment. I think we're going to get to it tomorrow. Yeah, it looks like, assuming there's no... Depending on how donations and bumps go today, we'll probably be getting to an Esper Hero deck tomorrow. For keeping it real. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the bits, Mueller. I appreciate that. Tosslow, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Welcome. So now I have to make a decision. Do I want to Gates Ablaze, play a tap plan, or do I want to play 4-ish, Shivan Fire the Runaway Steamkin, and then play another Gatebreaker Ram? I think I want to Gates Ablaze this turn, and the reason for this is the Gates Ablaze does hit my Ram even though it doesn't kill it. So I want to use the Gates Ablaze on a turn where they don't have mana up to finish my Ram off while it has damage marked on it. I agree, Hit. I was my assessment of what Rhythm was going to do was way off. Thanks for the Prime, Mueller. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Someone asked me how I feel about this versus 4-color gates. I think our matchup against this red deck's a lot worse, but I think this build is going to be significantly better against mono blue, so it's kind of a trade-off. Well, thank you, Tosslow, for being here. I appreciate it. Is it going to rotate out soon? So, Magic standard format rotates every fall. So, if you buy mono blue right now, you're going to get to use it until, like, the 2nd or 3rd week of October. So, it doesn't... Depends on what you consider soon, I guess. Like, I wouldn't consider that soon, but I've heard other people describe it as soon. I think I want to board in all of these. And I think all things else considered, the guild summons just need to come out here. And I think I want to just leverage like Gate Colossus and Gatebreaker Ram here for fast clock more than anything. I do definitely think this matchup is one that gets much harder, not having access to Deafening Clarion and Arcway Angel. Sand's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Everything before Guilds of Ravnica rotates out. So, Magic standard sets always go between, 5 and 8 sets being legal. So when a 9th set would be added to standard, the oldest 4 sets rotate out. Hey, Trax, thanks for checking out Quip. I appreciate that. Let me know if there's a deck in the queue you'd like to bump up with that. Grixis mid-range will do. Alright, so now I have to make a decision. Do I want to play the goat here? I think I want to wait to play the goat because this is post-board, so they likely have Lava Coil in their deck. So, like, I could shock in this land for Gatebreaker Ram, and then, like, just get it Lava Coiled and feel terrible. I'm not going to have blockers up this turn. I think we're likely dead regardless of how we slice this turn, but I think it's best to just Growth Spiral this turn. Yep, Frenzy plus Unchecked Steamkin is real terrifying. Remember when Kaladesh was in Standard for 2 years? Yep. Plaza of Harmony is very good here. So, what am I doing? So if I root, I can't play Gate Colossus because it still costs 2. I think I just play my goat as a 6/6 and play Steam Vents tapped. And then next turn I can Plaza plus root plus Colossus. Just need to hope I don't die from 12 this turn, I think. Yeah, almost every set includes new keywords. So if they hit an unlucky frenzy here, we could be in a good spot. It depends on we were talking about this card earlier, and like this card I would definitely describe as being an incredibly high variance card. Sometimes it wins the game completely on its own, and other times it just doesn't do a whole lot. Second frenzy is really good for us. Hopefully they draw a couple of bricks here. Rats, that's not a brick. All right, so we're taking 5 down to 7. That is an incredibly good draw for us. So let's play Plaza. And then let's play Gates Ablaze and get rid of these creatures. And again, gonna be a lot of variability hinging on how good this Experimental Frenzy is. Like if they hit 2 lands in a row here, we're in a good spot. If they draw a bunch of spells in the in-between, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. See, like that was a very good turn. They drew 4 cards with their Experimental Frenzies. If I play this, and then I do this, this is going to become 2 cheaper, so I can get 1 Gateway Plaza and 1 Simic Guildgate. Very likely dead here. We have 4 copies of Hydroid Krasis in our deck that could pull us back in if they don't kill us this turn, but we're pretty likely to die this turn. Survey says if we hit a Krasis, we can Krasis for 7, and maybe that can drag us kicking and screaming back into this game. So I think the play to win line here is attacking with my 8/8. This does leave me dead to a few things that I wouldn't be dead to otherwise, but it leaves my opponent dead on board to my second 8/8. So I think I do this and just hope there's 2 lands on top of their deck. I hope there's 2 lands in a row on top of their deck. And like obviously if there aren't 2 lands in a row on top of their deck, we likely die. Like that's an act of treason. We're dead to that regardless. But I think it's correct to put my opponent dead on board here. It's not, I don't even think it's a gamble, it's just like a correct percentage play, essentially. That's one of those where it's... No, I don't think that's the takeaway at all, Pikes. Like, if you listen to what I talked about earlier today, you'll understand that I think it's a trade-off. And, like, you can't be super, like, when you're hedging matchups, you can't be super anecdotal evidence-based. Like, the Shivan Fires have actually been really good. And I don't know, maybe we can just splash Angel, but a lot of these games are games like we wouldn't necessarily be guaranteed winning, even if we had Angels in our deck. Like, I agree not having Angel here makes it harder, but Angel by no means guarantees you a win in these matches. I actually didn't have time to do Vintage over the weekend, Nivik. Had a really shitty weekend and just unplugged and didn't do anything, so it'll be up later this week. I'm sorry about that. Like actually didn't do anything related to the stream until this morning from Friday evening. Only thing I did was chatting in Discord. This hand's not great, but I'm gonna keep it. That's actually a really good draw, because that being on top of our deck means that I have a meaningful play to make on turn 2 that interacts with my opponent's creatures. So now I have interaction on 2, interaction on 3, and like possibly find a land to root on 4. It's possible we could have more gates in our deck. I need to compare. I don't actually know how many gates the 4-color gates build has, because this build has 14, which maybe it's light, but we could definitely play more Gateway Plaza. I think Shivan Fire is much more important, because what I'm trying to fix by adding more red interaction to this deck is I'm trying to fix my ability to interact quickly, not interact with bigger things. Generally speaking, decks like this are good against the bigger threats because our threats go over the top of everything else. So we're basically just trying to not die to their faster things. It has 18, so this is 18 versus 14. $20 seems like a lot. And less than. 20 seems like a lot. Hey, Meister. Thanks for checking out Quip. I appreciate that. Yeah, and like even this, right? Like with active treason in their deck, like they just want it. They want it way more than we do. I don't really think there's anything to be done. Has 17. Okay. Which is actually less than what a lot of people have been saying. Let's play one more here. So far, mono red seems bad, but honestly, like the mono red matchup is bad regardless. So I don't really know. I don't think even with the white cards you beat good draws out of mono red. Especially when they have active treason in their deck. Pretty easy mulligan. It's not bad. Oh, I'm gonna bottom that and probably live to regret it, but it's just like, you know, you can't know. And that's really one of the things that, like, playing best of 3 in Magic gives you so much added information. Like, being able to make intelligent mulligan and scry decisions in post-board games is a big deal. Yeah, I can make that happen, Clickington. We can make that happen. I mean, I don't think there's an issue with mono red by any stretch of the imaginations. Like, mono red is hardly dominating everything, and like a deck like what we're playing is so good against a lot of the decks in the format that, like, having a matchup where it's bad in is like a thing that makes sense and helps keep the format really balanced. Morning, right, cat? I think I just play another Gatebreaker Ram next turn, so, like, unless we draw Gates Ablaze, of course. In my experience, this matchup is all about us staying alive, because as the game goes long, we tend to have more card advantage than they do. So I just want to give myself the most possible chances to, like, stem the bleeding early so I can survive to get into the mid to late game. If they have another removal spell here, we might just be dead. That's pretty unfortunate. We're going to 8 here. I do get to draw a couple of cards here. That's interesting. So do I Shivan Fire? I'm still dead in 2 regardless, even if I Shivan Fire, so I think I'd rather just Guild Summit this turn. Hey, Figure of Destiny, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Perfect. There's the Gates Ablaze. So we're going to 2 here, but then Gates Ablaze is going to let us stabilize. And then I have Shivan Fire for their first threat post Gates Ablaze, along with Root to gas up a little bit. Do they not have a 6th mana? Maybe they don't have a 6th mana. Blink's actually a great draw here. I'm gonna play this first because some of these Sultai decks have been playing a Spell Pierce, which is awkward. I'm playing Growth Spiral now on my turn, even though it's an instant, because if the Growth Spiral draws a gate, the gate draws a card, and that gate could draw another gate to play as our land for the turn. I think it's correct to be proactive there, because we could hit the lands. And obviously we didn't get paid off here, but we could have. Really need this Jade Light Ranger to only be a 3-2. Untapped land. That's really frustrating. I guess I just Shivan Fire this turn. If this would have only been a 3-2, I would have been able to play Root plus Shivan Fire at this turn. So now I have to have a single spell turn instead of developing my mana more. And like if I was able to develop my mana more this turn, we'd be in an okay spot. So really hoping to draw an untapped land next turn so that way I can play Root plus Blink of an Eye, whatever threat they play out. How many lands is this build playing? This build's only playing 26 lands. It's probably one too few. So now we need to draw Gates Ablaze. Even that's not good enough, right? I need to draw a gate into Gates Ablaze because they have a 3-5. This can technically draw us an untapped land and a Gates Ablaze. It can't even be a shock land. It has to be Plaza or Basic Forest. Alright, so we're dead. I feel like Gatebreaker Ram's not good enough here. I feel like I'd rather just have a bunch of actual removal. Because, like, that game was a good example of why Gatebreaker Ram's kind of mediocre, right? Like, they just killed our Gatebreaker Rams with the removal spells, so they weren't actually able to play defense for us. Yeah, we're at 2, so I could, like, Colossus there twice, but it's just, like, any removal spell kills us. And, like, they've been the hostage takers, so they have a removal spell. Yeah, we're gonna be in sub-only chat through Friday, Fancy Penguin. And then tentatively, if it seems okay, I'm just gonna stay in sub-only chat forever. For the foreseeable future. I think it's pretty reasonable. Got some good setup in it. Hopefully draw into some payoff cards. Twitch put in middle in the ad of me watching, aggressively reminding me to resub. Enjoying the new chat format as well. Thanks for the great decks. Well, thank you for the 14 months, Blur. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I think on Friday I might send out a sub survey. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Is it's been a hot second. We're through almost a quarter of the new year. So I think Friday, after we've done a week of sub only chat, I'm gonna send out a sub poll to find out how the people who pay me feel about the change. Took a Harry's razors to degenerate Twitch chat. So we've got a lot of mana in our hand, and then we got a lot of good payoffs in our deck. So hopefully we find one of those in a relevant amount of time. Do I get paid through viewership or only through subs? I make some amount of money from ads, but the bulk of my income, the reason why this is able to be my job is because is because of the subscribers. The subscriber money is the bulk of my income. Again, I messed up. I should have played out the forest and then gotten the Gateway Plaza, because I could have paid for it here. Instead, I've left a mana unused now. Yeah, PB Jeff is sponsored by viewers like you. Oh, I tapped. I should really zoom in on my land. Can I zoom in on my land? This is a Steam Vents and that's a Guildgate, so I missed drawing a card there. That's fine. Our draw is really good this game and their draw is bad, so it probably doesn't matter. Goodbye, friends. Hey, Leonard, thanks for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome, welcome. This is the way we draw the cards, draw the cards, draw the cards. This is the way we draw the cards. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Good morning, Professor. Hope you had a good weekend or having a good Monday. Trebor's Mata, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Do I just yoink Vivian here? I think I just yoink Vivian, right?
Come to me.
Hey, I agree with your explosion assessment, opponent. I kind of feel like maybe I should have a second copy of this in the 75. This card's really good. I think this Fiery Cannonade might be kind of silly. Might swap that for another Mass Manip. Hey, Howls, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, the sub only chat's definitely a huge added value to the sub, which is probably a good thing. Oh, I think I have to keep that. Obviously, we really need a green source, but I think I just keep second land in general. Yeah, I agree. The person who submitted this only had one in the board, and I think a second's probably required. Hey, that's pretty good. I just let this happen and then Lava Coil it next turn. Or Shivan Fire it. Either works. We just keep plowing along here. Probably fire this and play Growth Spiral here. Just stem the bleeding a little bit while developing our own board and sculpting our hand to touch. I'm actually going to go ahead and Growth Spiral before I Shivan Fire here, just to find out, like, do we hit a Gates Ablaze? Because if this draws Gates Ablaze, I'm going to wait, obviously. It did not, so I'm going to go ahead and kill this. Play my 8/8 out. If they want to Assassin's Trophy this, it gives me my 6th land, which gives me Krasis for 4 next turn, which is fine. Cast down, yep. Dunk. This is the ranked queue. So if you look in the lower left-hand corner of the screen and you see a ranked number, that means we are currently in ranked. All right, I'm gonna do this, and then I think because we hit Plaza of Harmony, I'm gonna go ahead and I was gonna Lava Coil this to stem the bleeding a little bit, but Krasis plus Plaza both buffer my health pool a little bit here, which I think means I can play into an Assassin's Trophy / removal spell here. So far today, interacting with the chat has been much easier than it has been in recent months. Another thing, and like this is something that a lot of you all directly don't see or happen, is that I personally experience a lot of negativity and hostility from the greater Magic community from aggressively moderating my chat. Because people are upset that they can't chat all of the time. There is a lot of name calling and rudeness sent in my general direction because I moderate my chat aggressively. So in addition to giving better interaction with my subscribers, I'm able to remove that after effect of the way that we moderate things here. Because if we're not, we're just like, you know, if it's only simple way, I don't have to aggressively moderate. Choices. So I can Lava Coil the Harpooner, take 5 next turn, play the tapped land. Yeah, I think that's the play. I think, like, if I shock this in and play the Gate Colossus and they have a removal spell, I'm basically just dead. So I think I just want to go tapped land plus spot removal. How much longer is the pink expected to last? Pastor, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I plan to just let the pink grow out naturally. Rock Fear, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I know. I mean, people in general are like never happy. Mr. Moose is basically the too long. And like maybe if I'm a different person, I'd be better about reading constant hate sent my way and not feeling bad about it. But as an average human being, when I sit there and read lots of constant vitriol directed towards me, it makes me feel bad. So I'm gonna do my best to remove some of that vitriol from my everyday life. Oh, we might be dead here. Not drawing Gates Ablaze feels real bad. Hey, thanks for the tip, Mr. Clickington. Whoop. My dashboard is not loaded. Can you fix that? You're awesome, screw the haters. Well, thank you, Clickington. It's tough. And like we talk about, it's the same thing when we talk about like anecdotal based evidence, right? Like even if somewhere in the back of my mind, I know that for every person shouting obscene things at me, like there's 10 other people that really appreciate what I do. It's hard not to like let that drag me down sometimes. On some days it really, really piles up. I just have an exceptionally bad day because of it. Alright, well, 1, possibly 2 more shots at a thing. I mean, this technically means I'm not dead, right? This puts me to 5, and then this, no, I'm still dead, right? I have a blocker, and then I take 5 here. Yeah, they could have a negate. They also just, like, it makes sense for them to not play Thief of Sanity out there just because, like, Gates Ablaze is my out. So, like, even if they don't have a negate, they don't want to play Thief of Sanity out necessarily just because it's a card that's, like, a follow-up threat should I hit my best card. I mean, we can lose rank playing good decks, too. Like, you're gonna... Magic's a very high variance game, right? Like, last Tuesday, when we were, like, trying to win, we lost a lot, right? And that's just, like, how the game goes. Yeah, on an average day, Shalesh, like, I delete and remove 2, 3, 4 comments, but some days it's dozens, with retweets and hundreds of upvotes and likes, and it's just like those are the days that are harder than the other ones. As far as this build of Gates goes, I think 1, this deck didn't have enough lands in it. 2, not playing Angel is probably a miss. I think part of the issue with the other build is that 1, I was pretty happy with the Shivan Fires. Having more cheap interaction is definitely something that this deck wants to be doing. But giving up the life gain from not having white, I think is a miss, especially when we have Root to technically, like, help fix our mana. So I think what I would prefer is shoving Shivan Fire into a 4-color shell that has less white mana at the bottom end, like maybe only playing like 6 or 7 white sources with Root to like only play Angel as the white card, and instead of playing Deafening Clarion as a second sweeper that makes you need white early, just play Shivan Fire and Lava Coil as cheap early interaction. Thanks for the 3 months, Bear Grind Games. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So yeah, I definitely think like the build, I'm gonna put some thought into it. I'm gonna make a note to update the Gates list on my website. Update Gates list on website. So I do think not having Angel is a mistake, and if you want to see how I would put together 4-color Gates with Shivan Fires and some Lava Coils and stuff like that, which is a small white splash, definitely check out the deck page on my website later tonight. I'll post in the subs Discord when I update it.